In this class, we're gonna start first creating an additional layer for our center of the mandala or the bindu, where it is concentrated all the energy of the mandala. And for that, I'm gonna pick up the back part of a pencil, and you can use also the back part of a brush, and I'm just going to place a center dot. But I have to be careful because I don't want to cover the first layer. This dot has to be actually smaller and it has to be well centered. So to have a bigger dot, what I do is just I keep pressuring the paint against the surface. And I do that very carefully, absolutely carefully. And what I'm doing is just rotating the surface so I can equalize, let's say, or make equal that border. I actually want that these two layers are noticed. And then with the toothpick or the wood stick, we just adjust anything that we think needs to be adjusted. And now we're gonna start a fun part. We're gonna start shading from dark violet. It's a violet that is lighter than the cobalt violet we used for the background. And we're gonna work on some random dotting, which gives the sensation of lots of freedom. We check the consistency of the paint, and I'm gonna make closer this. There we're going to start just creating random size dots here, but I want them to be close, but I don't want the paint to be together. The idea is to be able to see each dot. And we're going to be painting with just this color here till the edge of this circle. So I'm gonna be concentrating this color with several size dots, and here in the outer part beyond this circle, I'm just going to place random violet or purple dots of different sizes. They don't have to be many of them, but we're going to start working on, we're going to be transitioning from violet to yellow, as if it was the rainbow. And once we have this, and we have placed the smallest possible dots in here, we just add some additional dots. They don't have to be together, they're actually very separated. Can you see the difference? There's a lot of concentration of dots with this color till the edge of this circle, the circle of 2 centimeters. And we're going to keep repeating this in all the other 4 areas. Let's start working with magenta color. As you can see here, this is the magenta color, and we're going to start transitioning toward lighter colors. So magenta is a great transition between purple or violet and red. And what we're basically going to do, we're going to have as a reference this other circle, and we're going to start just placing dots randomly, but it's better to start working on the parts in which we have the swirls. And we have to be careful with something. When the paint is new, the tendency is for it to be liquid, the bottom ones. And then sometimes it's gonna be better to place these random dots a little bit separate, and then we let those dots dry and then wait to see these empty spots that need to be filled out with other dots. So this is basically what we're doing. Look at this. The consistency is great for dotting, but I have to be very careful because if I put some of these dots quite together, the paint might get all mixed up, and that's not what I want. I actually want every single dot to be an individual dot. Yeah. So you may start working first with this area that is inside the heart, but see, I'm not going further this circle. And as we are going to be transitioning, here's the sun, here comes the sun. We're transitioning to other colors inside the heart, but taking into consideration the limit of the compass that we drew, we're just going to set additional dots, but they have to be quite away from each other. See, we can place these tiny dots just like that. Excellent. And then my reference for this color, I'm going to be, let's say, putting or concentrating colors on this circle, inside this circle, and beyond that circle, just spare dots. And now on this area, the center area that is in the compass, I'm going to be concentrating magenta dots. They're gonna be randomly placed, but I will make this concentration till I get to the edge of this circle. And beyond that, again, we're just going to make spare dots to ensure transitioning. It's also a good idea, once the dark violet color is dried, just to pick some empty spot, maybe to place 2 or 3 magenta dots. And this is how we transition colors when we're working dottilism. And here there are magenta spare dots. Yeah, let's keep continue doing this. Do notice that I am placing magenta inside the heart but not beyond the white line. It's so inside the compass area. And now I'm gonna pick a red color that is not like the primary red color. It's a little bit violish. Yeah, but I think it will make a great contrast here too. So again, with this wood stick, I am just going to create some sort of concentration of color with random dots. As you can see here. One of the things that I like the most from this way to do dotting is that it is pretty relaxing. You're not working on a structure that demands lots of symmetry. In here, we're just placing dots randomly, as you can see, and sometimes it's like an invasion. We invade the area to other colors, the magenta, but just with tiny dots, because the intention is to have the visual effect to be transferring from one color to another. And yeah, we can place these tiny dots inside, and then once we feel that we have concentrated many dots of the same color, then we can start creating dots, spare dots, but separate. And the concentration will depend on the colors you want to place. Our intention here is to go from this dark violet to yellow, so we still would have to go from red maybe to orange, and from orange cadmium yellow, and then primary yellow. So let's keep working and enjoying this time together. And while this paint dries, let's take again the cobalt violet, this violet that is super dark, and let's place another center dot here. As I said before, the intention is to create a target, and in the theory lessons I will explain further. Look, this looks much more like an oval instead of a dots. What do we do in these cases? We can take again our tool and have a deep dive and again press against the surface, or you can pick a toothpick, as I am going to do now, and just correct anything. I'm saying it's not difficult, easy to do. Okay, but I think it looks nice. And in here, what we're going to do now is just to start also concentrating some orange color here in the intersection between the hearts and the compass, as we have just said. And then yeah, let's keep concentrating dots and try not to make them too far away from each other, or do them far away from each other and we wait a little till they dry to place new dots in the gaps. Remember that I am using just a wood stick. And again, I'm always going to invade a little the previous color or the previous two colors with tiny dots from this dot. And this is going to ensure a better visual effect of transition between colors. And remember that once you've concentrated the dots, we can always make spare dots far away from each other from the same color. Enjoy! And we're reaching to the end of the class. We're gonna get the cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow, we check again the consistency of the paint, which is great. And we repeat the same exercise. We concentrate many dots of the same color just to reinforce the area that is going to be painted with this color. And then we keep some spare dots far away from each other. Now I am going to repeat the same procedure, but I'm going to use the melon. It's like the yellow watermelon color. And this is going to be the color that will help us do the transition towards primary yellow. And finally we get that yellow, that it's more like primary yellow or lemon yellow. And we're gonna do the final dots here. So now it's a matter of just placing dots, filling the gaps only of the compass, this area that can be seen as a cross or just to me it's a compass. It's a little bit elaborated compass, but to me it's north, south, east, and west. And of course, as I said before, we're gonna have a whole class to explain the symbolism behind this. So now it's time to enjoy